but all one of her cubs wants to do is play.
And finally, for no reason whatsoever, here is Arnold Schwarzenegger on a bike chasing a tiny pony. The former governor of California posted the video online, calling it part of his fitness routine. We tried to reach out to Arnold's training partner, but he couldn't comment. He's a little hoarse.
And that's this week's edition of the Newshounds Now Update.
A rim shot on this edition. That poor mama. Everybody's running around.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
And right now at 5, bed bugs were a big problem for an apartment complex in Baraboo. We'll explain.
And the spring election just a few days away, and the race for state Supreme Court is on the bell. We'll introduce you to the candidates.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us at 5, everyone. Apartment management for a city-run complex in Baraboo say they are bed-bug free after an infestation this month.
Our Amy Reed explains what it took from the city to get this under control.
On a nice spring day, maybe nothing feels better than finally getting to open the windows. And at Donahue Terrace Apartments in Baraboo, an open window might be the perfect relief after the month they've had. In February, management found bedbugs in 11 apartments out of the 61 total here. While this can happen anywhere, they believe someone brought it in, but they don't want to say more than that. What they focus on is the solution. Since these are owned by the city, the department over Donahue spent $16,000 fumigating the 11 infested units and the common areas. They also spent another $4,000 on short-term control and other costs. In total, the $20,000 came out of the department's budget, but the director said they're still financially stable. He didn't want to go on camera, but he told me the department has a reserve fund that has enough to cover the cost, meaning they don't anticipate a negative impact to finances. Residents at Donahue weren't interested in talking about this. No one we ran into said they had bedbugs in their place, and according to the director of the overseeing department, it didn't inconvenience the residents too much. The apartments were fumigated during the day for only a few hours, so no one had to find other places to stay. Instead, they were able to come home and now try to put the whole thing behind them. In Baraboo, Amy Reed, News 3 Now.
And we reached out to the health department for comment on this situation, but they declined comment.
The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office has been called to a homicide near a dorm at Marquette University. Marquette and Milwaukee police officers responded to the scene near 19th Street between Wisconsin Avenue and Clybourne Street at 9:30 this morning. Authorities say the victim is a 45-year-old man who suffered a head injury. Police are seeking a suspect. Marquette police say the person who has died is not associated with Marquette University.
A South Milwaukee 13-year-old has been missing since Thursday. Police say Caleb Muller was last seen at his residence wearing a black zippered hooded sweatshirt, gray pants, and green camouflage shoes. Officials describe Muller as white, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 135 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Officials ask anyone who has information on Muller's location to call police.
A man wanted on multiple charges is in police custody in Janesville. Officers saw 31-year-old Larry Smith leave a home on North Wright Road. Police say the street crimes unit had 3 charges of delivery of cocaine against him. Those officers were able to stop him where he was taken into custody. They say Smith was out on a cash bond from a 2018 case. Smith was arrested on a variety of charges, including 3 counts of cocaine delivery, 3 counts of maintaining a drug trafficking place, and a felony charge of child neglect.
Let's get a look now at your first alert weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is out on the weather patio on this Friday afternoon.
Well, after having some sunshine for much of the day today, the clouds have rolled in, and we will look for the possibility for some showers tonight, especially for areas south of Madison. As we start out by taking a look at visible cloud track, you'll see that really, we had sunshine for pretty much the entire morning into the early part of the afternoon. Now those clouds are starting to spread in from the south and west, and you can see some rain showers in Iowa heading northeastward. But you can kind of see where the northern edge of that precipitation area will be, and it'll probably stay right around Madison or just a little bit to the south. So areas north of Madison may see very little in the way of precipitation tonight. Otherwise, as we look at low temperatures this morning, they were generally in the lower 30s, a little colder than the previous night, but high temperatures today so far have been in the lower 50s. Across just about all of southern Wisconsin, away from Lake Michigan. Near the lake, temperatures have stayed in the 40s. And current temperatures are still right around 50 here in Madison. A little cooler also out to the west now toward the Mississippi River. By tomorrow morning, temperatures will be in the middle 30s. Again, we'll see cloudy skies, chance for a rain shower, maybe mixed with a few flakes of snow south of Madison. Then skies will quickly turn sunny tomorrow, but it will be a cooler day with a high temperature of 43. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
All right, thank you, Gary. Today is National Vietnam War Veterans Day, and a traveling museum is helping honor Vietnam vets. Reflections of Vietnam, the largest mobile museum for Vietnam-era artifacts in Wisconsin, made a stop at Madison College this afternoon. The museum includes locker rooms that display different items from the war, along with historical videos.
Whenever we look at Vietnam-era veterans, we want to definitely, pay our respects to them because they did live through something that, most of our veterans, including myself, didn't go through. So we may not always be able to understand fully what they went through, but we certainly share a lot of the experience, and so therefore we honor them every single time that we get.
Along with the museum, Madison College hosted a veteran resource fair for students and members of the community.
Well, just 4 days to go until Election Day, we are introducing you to the candidates vying for the state Supreme Court.
They're looking to fill the open seat left by longtime Justice Shirley Abrahamson. Rose Schmidt sat down with both candidates and joins us now to tell us why they're running. Rose?
Yes, well, this race is officially nonpartisan, but both candidates, Judge Brian Hagedorn and Judge Lisa Neubauer, are strongly backed by a political party. Both judges currently serve on the Wisconsin Court of Appeals, the court below the Supreme Court. Liberal Judge Neubauer lives in Racine and is backed by more than 300 judges. She was appointed by former Governor Jim Doyle in 2008 and became Chief Judge of the Court of Appeals in 2015. And conservative Judge Hagedorn lives in Oconomowoc and has the support of more than 40 current and former sheriffs. He previously served as Chief Legal Counsel for former Governor Scott Walker, who appointed him to the appeals court in 2015. And I asked both of them why they're vying for the state's top court.
I want to uphold the Constitution the way it's written, protecting our rights like freedom of speech, or freedom of religion, right to bear arms. Those things are actually written in the document. And so it's my job to uphold and enforce those and not to make the Constitution say whatever I think it ought to say.
I am somebody who doesn't come to my decision-making with any agenda, no ideology, no outcomes predetermined. I am somebody who truly follows the law, follows the Constitution, works really hard to get it right.
And this race has been a bitter one, with both sides criticizing the other's, quote, extreme agendas. The business group Wisconsin Realtors Association pulled its endorsement of Hagedorn after blog posts from 2005 surfaced in which he made controversial comments about gay rights, abortion, and bestiality. Republican groups have been running ads suggesting that Neubauer would advance socialism and be soft on crime. And just in the last week, a Republican group spent more than $1 million to help Judge Hagedorn in this race in efforts to outspend Judge Neubauer, who has received strong financial support from liberal groups like the one run by the country's former Attorney General Eric Holder.
Thank you, Rose.
Republican legislators are filing notice that they will appeal a second ruling blocking laws weakening Democratic Governor Tony Evers and Attorney General Josh Kaul. Republicans passed the laws in a December lame duck session, sparking multiple lawsuits from Democrats and their allies. Last week, a Dane County Circuit judge ruled the sessions was illegal, but the 3rd District Court of Appeals has stayed that order pending appeal. Another Dane County judge struck down key portions of the laws on Tuesday, finding they violate the separation of powers between the legislative and executive branches. A bipartisan group of lawmakers preparing to introduce a bill that would delay closing Wisconsin's troubled youth prison by by 6 months. Former Governor Scott Walker signed a bill last year that closes the prison near Irma in 2021 and moving the inmates to county or state-run facilities. The FBI is currently investigating allegations of widespread abuse at the prison. Governor Tony Evers says the closure deadline is too aggressive. He wants to keep the prison open indefinitely until replacement facilities are built. The Wisconsin State Journal reports the new bill would push the closure deadline to July 1st, 2021. Evers isn't endorsing the proposal. His capital budget included $90 million in borrowing to build 3 new juvenile facilities, but Republicans rejected the spending plan earlier this month.
A Wisconsin couple says they may be evicted from their apartment all because of a gay pride flag. Kevin Coleman and Merle Malterer have lived in County Oaks apartments in Oak Creek, Wisconsin for the past 6 years. They've always decorated outside, but they say it's recently become a problem. On Wednesday, they got a notice saying they breached their lease and they have 5 days to take down their gay pride American flag.
Personally, I feel like we're being kind of singled out here because it's what it is.
The property owner says the couple was asked to take down a Packers flag back in January, and this is not a discrimination issue. He says no one is allowed to have flags anywhere, and it is against the lease agreement. But there were several flags around the property. The couple says they're looking into taking legal action.
The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is asking for the public's help in finding the person who illegally shot a bald eagle in Marathon County. The bird was found dead on Saturday in a roadside ditch in the township of Harrison. It was examined by the Raptor Education Group, and lead fragments consistent with a gunshot wound were found. Anyone with information related to the illegal shooting should contact the DNR violation hotline. Bald eagles are federally protected birds.
Have you noticed it's been a bit of a bumpy ride as the snow melts and uncovers a lot of potholes? AAA has some proactive steps and recommendations that drivers can follow to avoid costly repairs. They suggest slowing down and inspecting your tires. Make sure they're properly inflated so they can act as a cushion if you hit a pothole. Watch out for puddles. They often disguise deep potholes. And listen for any strange noises or vibrations. Hitting a hard pothole can dislodge wheel weights, damage the tire or wheel, and even break suspension components. But if you do damage your car, be prepared to pay up.
The average pothole repair can range anywhere from $300 to $1,500, depending on the make and model of your vehicle and what other systems might, be affected or damaged by the pothole. If it's just a dented rim versus an issue with the suspension or anything else on the undercarriage of your vehicle.
Another issue AAA has been looking at the past few years, the disappearance of spare tires on vehicles. Many newer cars don't have one. AAA recommends car shoppers ask if that's an option before buying their next car.
Another former Green Bay Packers player has announced he's retiring from the NFL. Offensive lineman TJ Lang made the announcement on Twitter. He played 8 seasons with the Pack and his last 2 seasons with the Lions. Lang is a 2-time Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl champion. Earlier this week, former Packers wide receiver Jordy Nelson announced he's retiring as well.
This just in from our Channel 3000 Alert Center. Milwaukee Brewers reliever Corey Knebel has announced he will be having season-ending Tommy John surgery on his right elbow. That's according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Knebel was part of the bullpen pitching that helped the Brewers clinch the NL Central last season. The 27-year-old has been part of the Brewers organization for the last 4 seasons.
That's not good news.
No, it's not.
And there is more news to come on News 3 at 5. Up next, Attorney General has told Congress when they can expect a version of the Mueller report to be released.
And the parents charged in that massive college admissions scandal make their first court appearance in Boston. We'll have the latest.
And on Wall Street, the Dow Industrial is up 211 points. The NASDAQ gaining 60, the S&P 500 up 19. We'll be right back. Attorney General William Barr has told Congress to expect a version of the special counsel Robert Mueller's report on the Russia investigation by mid-April.
Barr says he wants the public to be able to read Mueller's findings. He says Mueller's report is nearly 400 pages long. Mueller officially concluded his investigation last Friday and submitted his report to Attorney General Barr. Barr's summary of Mueller's report said it did not find a criminal conspiracy between Russia and Donald Trump's campaign to try to swing the 2016 presidential election.
And President Trump is again threatening to close the U.S. border with Mexico. The president tweeted, "If Mexico doesn't immediately stop all illegal immigration coming into the United States through our southern border, I will be closing the border or large sections of the border next week." In a letter to Congress sent late Thursday, Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen warned of a system-wide meltdown. He asked for the authority to quickly deport unaccompanied Central American minors to their families and home countries if they have no legal basis to be in the country.
The problem is the big flows we're seeing right now are families. They aren't unaccompanied children, so that change won't actually address today's flows.
Congress has to fix our broken immigration laws. We're the laughing stock all over the world.
In Mexico, authorities are bracing for another large caravan carrying migrants from El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala, hoping to reach the U.S. border. More than 75,000 migrants were detained last month. That's the most in 12 years.
More than a dozen parents charged in the massive college admissions scandal had their initial court appearances in Boston today. Prosecutors say 33 suspects paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to rig test scores and bribe coaches to get their children into elite colleges. In the wake of the scandal, California lawmakers have proposed sweeping college reforms, including requiring 3 college administrators to sign off on special admissions and banning special treatment for children of donors or alumni.
We want to make sure that hard work is rewarded. You shouldn't just get rewarded because of what family you were born into. You should get rewarded for how hard you study.
Actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin are among those charged. Both are scheduled to appear in court next week.
Let's get a look now at your first alert weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has your weekend forecast. Gary.
Actually, wasn't a bad day today. Temperatures, for the most part, have been pretty comfortable. We are looking at some more clouds coming in from the south and west. We had sunshine for the morning hours, but here come the clouds. This is a weather system that will mainly stay to our south, but as you can see, the snow depth right now mainly confined to the northern part of the Midwest, up in far northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota. So we don't have to worry too much about additional melting of snow, at least around here. But these showers are moving eastward pretty steadily. There was some snow on the northern edge of it, but it's moving into warmer air. So by and large, we'll see mainly rain showers from Madison southward. I think north of Madison, probably very little in the way of precipitation tonight. But some of these showers could mix with a few flakes of snow as we get closer to the freezing mark late tonight before ending tomorrow morning. The time lapse in the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville shows the sunshine that we had for much of the day today, and then all of a sudden you start to see the clouds start to thicken up as we head through the day. And now we look at the live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam, and you'll see that skies are mostly cloudy over southwestern Wisconsin, but the rain hasn't reached there yet. The live view from the WISC Skycam looking back toward the east, maybe a little bit of clearing on the far eastern horizon. Otherwise, skies are mostly cloudy here too. The Edgewater Skycam downtown Madison also showing mostly cloudy skies. As we check out the almanac for today, the high temperature hit 52 degrees after starting out at 31, so very close to the normals of 49 and 29. Right now our temperature is 50 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Winds out of the northwest to 5 miles per hour. Again, the humidity pretty low. It's been low for the last couple of days, 39%. So some of the showers, especially on the northern edge of that batch of rain moving in from the west, probably won't reach the ground. As we check out current temperatures, they're mainly in the 40s to our north and west, around 50 here in Madison, much cooler near Lake Michigan. Notice the lake breeze kicking in there, but also farther out to the west through much of Iowa. Temperatures are cooler there than they are here in southern Wisconsin. There's actually a couple of cold fronts that are in play here. The second one will be dropping southward, and you can see as this area of rain continues off toward the east, the second front has this little batch of rain and snow showers. Most of that precipitation will stay to our north, but eventually as that cold front drops its way southward, it'll keep most of this precipitation down to the south, but it also will bring in a little surge of colder air for the weekend. Behind that second front, temperatures are mainly in the 30s. I think we'll probably see high temperatures in the lower 40s for tomorrow and maybe middle 40s for Sunday. But as we take a look at future track, you can see that low pressure system heading off toward the east. Skies will start clearing out, and then we'll look for drier conditions as we head into the day tomorrow. As far as temperatures are concerned, look for those low temperatures tonight to drop into the middle 30s. High temperatures tomorrow, though, only reaching the lower 40s. Our forecast for tonight calls for skies to be mostly cloudy. We'll see some rain showers develop, mainly south of Madison. They could mix with snow late before ending. Low temperature at 34. Tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 43 degrees. We'll see some clouds early, but then we'll turn mostly sunny later on in the afternoon. On future track, again, the rain chances highest to the south, maybe a couple of flakes of snow mixed in before it comes to an end early tomorrow morning. Lows in the mid-30s, but you can see how quickly the skies clear out for tomorrow. We'll see mostly sunny skies, and then temperatures drop into the 20s for tomorrow night. And on Sunday, we're back into the lower to middle 40s. As we check out the 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures start warming right back up. We're into the upper 50s by Wednesday. There'll be a slight chance of showers Tuesday, a little better chance late Wednesday into Thursday when a thunderstorm is possible. A brief cool off on Friday, and then temperatures will start warming up again at the end of the 10-day forecast. As we take a look at first alert traffic, things are actually not too bad. You know, a lot of schools are on break, so people are out of town. This is the live view from the DOT camera on the Beltline of Park Street, eastbound heading out of Madison. Typical Friday, some slowdowns there, but you can see the delays pretty much confined to about Monona Drive to around Fish Hatchery Road. Westbound, not too much of a delay. So as far as travel times are concerned, 25 minutes eastbound on the Beltline from University Avenue to the interstate, but only 15 minutes back in the westbound direction. Heading out of Madison, it's 26 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990 from the Beltline, 17 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 18 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Alert Traffic.
All right, thanks, Gary.
Ahead at 5, a European woman has a genetic mutation that makes her feel no pain. How this discovery could help millions who suffer from chronic pain. That's next at 5. Well, new research is shedding light on the genetic reasons why a woman in Scotland feels virtually no pain.
Elizabeth Palmer is in London with how the potential breakthrough could help millions of people who suffer from chronic and acute pain.
Jo Cameron has never felt pain, not after wrist surgery, not when she had her hip replaced, not even giving birth to her children.
I felt things. I felt my body stretching. I felt peculiar feelings, but nothing's made me, no pain.
Researchers at London's University College think they know why. They found a mutation, in fact, a bit missing from one of her genes that affected Jo's body chemistry, so she simply doesn't feel what the rest of us call pain. Have a look at her here, in her doctor's office, happily chewing chilies so hot they make her husband wince.
Oh, goodness.
A pain-free life may sound great, but it does have a downside. Jo often doesn't realize when she's hurt herself.
I'm ironing, and quite often I'm sort of ironing away, and suddenly find I've ironed my arm. And it's only when I see after there's a sort of mark down there that I realize I've ironed my arm.
But for doctors, this is an exciting discovery.
There's a vast problem of around about 6 or 7% of the population have ongoing excruciating pain. So we really do need some new therapies.
Millions of patients suffering both chronic and acute pain have to rely at the moment on addictive drugs.
So we hope that we'll be able to help people in the future by harnessing the knowledge that we gain from the mutation in Jo and trying to mimic it either through gene therapy or potentially in a pharmacological way.
We're probably many years and many, many millions of dollars away from this translating into a treatment. But it certainly does provide a ray of hope for so many people who spend so much of their lives in agony. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, London.
Just looking at your arm, Susan.
I know. Sign me up, please.
Have a final check of your forecast coming up. Not a bad weekend on tap.
No, it'll be a little cool, but should be dry. The rain showers that are coming through tonight mainly will affect us areas south of Madison tonight. There could be a couple of flakes of snow before they mix in. Right now, they haven't quite reached the Mississippi River yet, but temperatures still around 50. They'll be about 5 to 10 degrees colder at this time tomorrow. Look for a high of 43 tomorrow and 44 on Sunday. Plenty of sunshine once the clouds clear out early tomorrow morning, and then we'll see a warm up with temperatures close to 60 by Wednesday. Shower and thunderstorm chances there, and another warm up for the following weekend.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Because of basketball, News 3 at 6 starts right after this. Now on News 3 at 6, they are typically on opposing sidelines, but today area coaches met for a special football clinic on tackling, how they hope to keep kids safer on the field.
But first, Election Day is next week, and tonight we are introducing you to the candidates running to serve on Wisconsin's Supreme Court.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5:30.
Thanks for staying with us. Tonight we're introducing you to the two judges on the ballot for the open state Supreme Court seat.
Rose Schmidt sat down with both candidates and explains who they are and why they're running. Rose?
Yes, well, this race is officially nonpartisan, but both candidates are strongly backed by a political party. In the last week, a Republican group spent more than $1 million to help Judge Brian Hagedorn in this race in efforts to outspend Judge Lisa Neubauer, who has received strong financial support from liberal groups like the